I've been thinking a lot about the animal kingdom versus the human race. And animals are they biologically have more chemical and physical and emotional traits that are different between different species of animal, whether it's land animals, animals that fly, which are also land animals, or sea creatures. They all, if you think about the amount of biodiversity within the animal kingdom, it is 10 million times more vast than the biological differences between different races of human beings, different cultures, people from different countries. A lot of people will say that biologically, two people from different families can have more traits in common, like chemical makeup, than even siblings. I don't know. I don't remember what it was, but whatever. And so I'm like, okay, so animals are all 100 times more different from one another than we are. We are all share so many more similarities. We are all the same species, yet we are so heavily divided by language and race and racism and gender identity and all of these political ideologies and yada yada yada, right? And we have all out wars with each other, and we kill each other, and we chastise each other, and we demean each other, and not only separate ourselves by race, political ideology, gender ideology, sexism, but also by hierarchical social class, by monetary value. We also separate ourselves even further by that, by the what is it called? Social wars. I can't remember what it's called. So we separate ourselves so heavily, but we are extremely different from the animal kingdom because we have high complex thinking, right? We have free will more so than animals. We are not a slave to our what am I saying? We are not slaves to our instincts like animals are. Animals have animalistic instincts, and I can't remember the better word for it, but natural impulses that they have to carry out, survival instincts. And we have survival instincts too, but we can consciously go against it and make different decisions. That is the power that we were given in our higher minds, right? Which is why we rule the earth, right? Which has been to our detriment, but whatever, right? So we are technically have higher complex thinking than all of the animals in the animal kingdom, right? Yet somehow we are so deeply divided. And I just don't understand that, because for animals, it makes sense why they're so deeply divided and why they kill each other and why they do this and that. It's because they're not all connected by this higher complex consciousness. They're animals, right? Their survival traits and natural impulses and instincts separate them, and that's what keeps them as animals and below us. Because if they had that higher complex consciousness like we have, then they would be trying to wage wars with us and take over us, and they would all be banding together, because there's a lot of animals that could instantly kill us, like bears and lions and tigers and bears, like that one song, right? Lions and tigers and bears and tons of ocean creatures which can't walk on land, but you get the point, right? And if they wanted, all the bears and the lions and the tigers, they could band together and they could all rule over us, but they can't because they don't have that higher consciousness. So the animals have an excuse for hurting each other and doing whatnot, but they have an order, and it is the way of the earth. We don't have to have this chaos order where a bunch of people are suffering and a bunch of people at the top are living in heaven. It doesn't make any sense. So in that way, we are so much worse than animals. You know, when they show those pictures in the Discovery Channel, those videos of a lion eating a gazelle, you know, mercilessly, and it looks disgusting and you're horrified. It's like, okay, well, is our civilization any worse? I would argue that all of those natural things that the animals are doing, like eating each other and killing each other and all this violent stuff that is like, I guess, crazy to us and makes us say, oh, they're animals. I would argue that is 100 times more pure than the centuries of history of slavery between different countries and different cultures and different kingdoms. You know what I'm saying?
I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. Like, they have that consciousness barrier that makes them animals. But we don't have that. We don't have that. We have the power to choose. We are not a slave to our instincts as human beings.